What's up, everyone? First of all, I would like to kick off this video by apologizing for being away for most of the month of April, but I had a lot of personal obligations that were eating up most of my time. You know, April, Easter, I had a lot of family visiting. I tried to fit in the videos during that schedule, but I just couldn't do it. But I'm back, and I'm back to review one of my favorite franchises, Rocky. So let's kick this off with the very first movie, simply titled Rocky. Released in 1976, Rocky was a low-budget film that was written by its then-unknown star Sylvester Stallone. The story is about an unknown club fighter who gets a shot at the title. The title character, Rocky, is pretty much the down-on-his-luck everyman. He's uneducated, fights in clubs for very little money, and earns even more money by working for a loan shark. Rocky is not so much a fight story, but is more of a story about self-discovery. There's a lot more character development in this story than what people give it credit for. It's about someone who is truly trying to find his place in the world. He's made bad choices in his life and has gone down a bad path. However, he is generally a good person, and that good side of him is what leads him to great things in this story. He finally gains the courage to go out with the girl he's been in love with for some time, Adrian. She is the sister of his best friend, Paulie. Adrian is very much the turning point in Rocky's life. She's that person that shows him that there is light at the end of the tunnel and that his life can change. Along the way, Rocky also gains the trust of boxing trainer Mickey, who helps Rocky train for the fight. The story culminates with the match between Rocky and Apollo being the very arrogant and loud champion who expects Rocky to pretty much lay down for him in this match. However, Rocky, not knowing that Apollo just expects the fight to be a show rather than actual competition, takes Apollo to the very limits and goes the distance despite losing the fight. That was the part that a lot of people didn't get about the story. Rocky might have lost the match, but in the end, and in his heart and mind, he won. He was finally going out with the girl that he loved, he went the distance with the champion, and finally gained respect from people around him. He was no longer a nobody in the world. By the end of the movie, he was somebody. He was a winner. Sylvester Stallone was truly perfect for the role, not only because he wrote the character, but because at that time, he was the character. Sylvester Stallone was a starving actor looking for that big break, and he finally got it. In a way, what Rocky goes through in the movie was pretty much what Stallone went through during the entire production. Stallone's acting is usually the subject of criticism, but I love his performance in this film. That was the most appealing part of the movie aside from the story, the casting. It wasn't a cast of big-named actors aside from Burgess Meredith, who played Mickey. Talia Shire plays Adrian, and I kind of felt bad for her for the longest time because the character was described as this ugly duckling. In fact, Susan Sarandon had auditioned for the role first and was rejected due to the fact that she was too pretty. How do you respond to something like that if you're someone waiting in line to audition next? Talia Shire was very pretty, but she was not Hollywood pretty. That's definitely no knock towards her because I think that's what makes her more realistic. She's not this plastic, stereotypical looking Hollywood actress, and to me, that's far prettier than any other actress in the business. Shire is also a great actress as well and plays the role perfectly. Another really good character is Paulie, who's being played by Burt Young. Paulie is very much like Rocky, someone who does not like his current situation and doesn't get a break. However, where Rocky is a kind and good person, Paulie, while kind too, is more vocal and angry, but you can tell that there's a friendship there which makes you like him rather than hate him. Apollo is sort of the villain, kind of. There really is no true villain in this film. It's not like later on in the series where the opponents were straight villains. Apollo is actually a likable character at first. He's just this normal guy who becomes arrogant because of his success. I don't know whether Stallone intended him to be a villain right off the bat, but I never quite felt the villain vibe from him. He's played by Carl Weathers, who does a magnificent job bringing him to life. And my absolute favorite character in the film, aside from the title character, is Mickey, played by Burgess Meredith. The character of Mickey is pretty much a retired boxer turned trainer. However, Mickey was not a big-named boxer. He's more like the trainer who knows all the tricks of the trade but never could reach the level of fame he wanted, so now he wants to train a boxer to do the things that he could not accomplish. Meredith brought so much to this role. He brought the personality, attitude, and most of all, the voice. Meredith's voice as Mickey is simply classic. Just the voice alone tells the story behind this character's personality. Another appealing element about the movie is the movie's direction. John Avildsen directed Rocky, and Avildsen's directing style is much more straightforward, and that really works for the movie. By straightforward, I mean his various shot selections. Avildsen doesn't do a lot of big, elaborate shots. He's a little more simple. In all honesty, the most creative shot in the entire picture is the Steadicam shot going up the stairs when Rocky is running. I like Avildsen's directing style. A lot of critics tend to put him down, but I think what he does is great. He allows the story to tell itself. He doesn't spend time working out these big, elaborate shots. He wants the main focus to be the story and nothing else. The movie also has a memorable score by Bill Conti. Conti's score represents the movie very well, and his classic song Gonna Fly Now is considered by many to be the most memorable song in film history. The score gave the movie an epic feel and made this low-budget film appear more expensive than it actually was. I really have no issues with the first Rocky. There's only been one nitpick that I've had for this film over the years, and that's the fact that some of the dramatic moments are unintentionally comedic, which happens. So overall, Rocky is simply a classic. It's one of those films that never gets old. A low-budget movie that did exactly what the main character did. It went the distance, and it's still going over 35 years later. Well, everyone, that's it for now, and next week I dive into the first sequel, Rocky II. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time.
You want to know? I want to know! Okay, I'm going to tell you. Because you had the talent to become a good fighter. And instead of that, you became a leg breaker, some cheap, second-rate loan shark.
It's a living?
It's a waste of life.